You're wondering if you should be buying Bitcoin and investing in cryptocurrency. I'm going to share my thoughts on that right now. Hi, my name is Aaron Miller and this is Plan Free, the channel that illustrates a location-independent lifestyle and shows you how to get it. Up until now, we haven't mentioned it very often that my former profession was that of a stockbroker and investment advisor, before we did the springboard into the location-independent lifestyle that we illustrate today. When I first started looking into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency a couple of years ago, my main concern was always that it's not backed by anything, and so how do you arrive at the underlying value? Over time, I've applied that same way of thinking to more mainstream investable assets such as the stock market or real estate. And when I think about what the value of these things is tied to, it's usually currency, or the currency of the nation that you live in. So then the question becomes, well, what is the currency value tied to? And that answer today is nothing. So this conclusion has allowed me to now include Bitcoin and cryptocurrency into the toolbox of available assets in which to diversify. Many other much more successful investors who are much smarter than me have arrived to similar conclusions, as have a wide list of recognized companies. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency have shown the ability to make significant volatile moves to the upside in very short time frames, making them one of the most exciting asset classes to have exposure to today. It's important to recognize and identify Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for what they are. And in my opinion, that's a speculative investment. In a balanced portfolio, speculative investments should comprise somewhere in the neighborhood of 10% of your overall net worth. I am not an investment professional, I'm merely sharing my thoughts, and this should not be construed as investment advice. Depending on your risk tolerance and perhaps your age, you may consider scaling up or down the amount of cryptocurrencies within your speculative portion of your portfolio. For example, if you're younger and you have a higher risk tolerance, you may scale up that portion of the 10%. You may be comfortable with owning upwards of 5%, 7% of your total portfolio in cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. If on the other end of the scale, your overall risk appetite is lower, and let's say you're a little bit older in age, your allotment of your overall net worth in cryptocurrencies may come somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 to 3% of your overall net worth. It's important to identify this asset class for what it is today, and that's a speculative investment, and give it appropriate allocation for where it's at currently. My philosophy on investment classes such as this is that I would only be placing money that I'd be fully prepared to lose in it. Bitcoin could very well blow up and be a significant part of the investment landscape going forward, and I hope it does. But it also could go to zero and be worthless. So recognizing that, I'm only going to be placing a portion of money in this type of investment that I would be willing to lose and not worry about. As it relates to savings, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies offer you the ability to diversify away from having your savings only in your home country's currency. Speaking of diversifying away from currency alone, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is the most portable of the common dollar hedges, the others being silver and gold. The logistics involved in moving sizable ownership of physical gold and silver is rather cumbersome compared to the portability of owning a digital currency in the form of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. When we think about the overall devaluation of our nation's currencies, that's mainly predicated on the fact that our governments and our countries continue to print more and more money at a higher rate of frequency than ever before. Conversely, when you consider Bitcoin, there's a finite amount of these coins available, somewhere in the neighborhood of 21 million. But once these coins are all mined, it leads to a rather reasonable conclusion that the value of this currency will eventually increase. So to speak specifically on the question of should you be buying Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, it really comes down to you as the individual because everyone is different and in different spots. But there are general questions that you can ask yourself currently to help you arrive at a reasonable conclusion relating to this. If you're someone that thinks your government is completely trustworthy and that they've done an excellent job at managing funds and that inflation will cease and the devaluation of your money will no longer be a thing, then Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies may not be something that you feel is necessary to diversify in, or other hedges of the dollar for that matter. If, on the other hand, you're someone that's not necessarily enamored with your government's ability to manage money, or that you feel taxes generally will continue to increase, or you feel that taxes right now are too high, you think that the dollar is going to continue to devalue over time, then you may want to consider adding or diversifying into any of the three most common hedges of the dollar: gold, silver, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrencies. Myself personally, I currently don't hold any Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in my portfolio. I would imagine that by the end of 2021, that will change, and I expect to be diversifying into this asset class before the year end. My name is Air, and this is Plan Free. How can Plan Free help you? By subscribing to the channel and clicking the blue bell icon, you'll always know when the next video is coming out. We will continue to illustrate the location-independent lifestyle and offer financial direction and encouragement. If you like the video and what we're talking about, click the like button. Comment down below if you think it's the right time to be buying Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and if you plan to diversify into this asset class in the near future. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you again soon in the next video. Bye for now.